Okay, so I'm confused. We were told that Stadia was going to be packing up shop soon after they close SG&E. So help me understand why they're holding an event to sponsor gamers that are going to be developing new games for the platform for the future. It doesn't make sense. Let's talk about this. Stadia event to sponsor new games coming to platform. Let's talk about it. SDO Daily, baby. Let's get into it.
Stay sick cause I follow my gut. They say I was pushing my luck. I'ma push me a matte all black truck. Oh, I'm not sorry.
What's up, people? What's up, people? What's up, people? It is your boy MM2K back again with another episode of SDO Daily. Do me a huge favor before we get into this one. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, rock those bells for notifications, please, so you know when your boy's dropping these doses. I appreciate all of y'all straight up. Y'all know the deal, y'all know the reason, and y'all know the slogan. I'm not too proud to ask. Let's get into it. All right, so here's... this is interesting, right? Stadia is, according to this GamingLife.com publication, and I haven't heard official word from Stadia, so we'll just consider this speculation right now, which I find it hard that someone would troll and create this whole event if it didn't actually exist. But whatever the case may be, we're going to handle this with kid gloves. That being the case, there's supposedly, starting March 14th through the 20th, there's going to be a convention, right, that is sponsored by Stadia, and it's working with different developers to make games, and couch co-op games where they're going to be compensated for making these games using Unity. So these are new and upcoming developers using the Unity platform, and they're going to get compensated, and games potentially that are developed from this initiative or this convention can be selected to be put on Stadia's Makers program to be sold on Stadia. How about that? So let's read through the story and we'll talk about it on the back end. You know how we do. Let me show you something. So this is from GamingLife.com. And it reads, Google Stadia Play Anywhere Game Jam, as they call it, March 14th through the 20th. And it says this as follows. The Play Anywhere Game Jam, March 14th through the 20th, 2021, features the Stadia Makers program. Google Stadia Play Crafting and Power Diversity Game Jam. Nearly 40 developers from around the country will work in 10 teams to create a bit of couch play fun. The Google Stadia Play Anywhere Game Jam, a week-long jam focused on group of diverse and inclusive developers creating playful, local Stadia experiences, kicks off this weekend. Play Crafting announced today. Wow, okay, so this is announced by a group called Play Crafting. About 40 Unity developers from around the United States will work together in teams of 10, of mostly 4, to craft engaging couch co-op and competitive games geared towards local multiplayer on Stadia. This jam is a solid first step in companies meeting developers where we are, said Chris Kindred, design lead and game jam lead of Team Geofront. Our team hopes this will be the start of a larger movement toward the work of achieving true equity through direct modes of uplifting marginalized developers in our industry. Kara Shiratomo Hillstock, freelance narrative designer and variety streamer on Twitch and leader of Team Hillstock, added, the Google Stadia Play Anywhere Game Jam has allowed me to gather a brilliant team together who are focused on experimenting and innovation. We can dedicate our full creative energies towards it because we won't be forced to work other jobs to help ends meet. Jams allow for a kind of genre pushing that you can't always focus on when making your own games, which are often restricted by what publishers/investors consider marketable. The rest of the team and I are really excited because we're going to be working with an idea we haven't touched on before. We're excited to push ourselves and experiment. The developers are being compensated for their work, as we said in the bumper, and as we said earlier, on the prototypes in the games may be picked up through the Stadia Makers program, which is their program that they use to work with indie developers. For the developers to fully develop the title for Google Stadia, if a game is not selected, the developers will retain ownership of their game and are free to pitch them elsewhere. The participating developers who are working on the games from cities around the country, including Seattle, Boston, Chicago, New York, Austin, and Los Angeles, will be introducing themselves during a streaming event leading up to the Sunday night start of the Game Jam at 7 p.m. Eastern on March 14th on YouTube. The day after the jam wraps up, the developers will each have a chance to show off their creations in a second live stream, which will be hosted by Playcrafting and Stadia Makers. It's been a thrill to work with Stadia Makers team since 2020 to bring this jam to life and unite this incredible lineup of independent game developers, said Dan Butchko, founder of and CEO of Playcrafting. Now the real fun begins. Independent creators are always on the cutting edge of what's possible through the power of video games, through jams like this. We're here to give the support to let their skills shine brightest while celebrating diverse voices that drive this industry and this medium forward. I can't wait to play what these talented folks from across the country come up with. And they give you a list of the Google Stadia Play Anywhere developers, who the different teams are, and what the different team makeups are. Here's the thing that I want to talk about on the back end of this, really. So after fully reading through that article, it sounds legit. We're going to do some more follow-up on it, just to be 100% sure. But my question is, if this is legitimate, if this is happening this weekend, March 14th through the 20th, first and foremost, Stadia, we just cut a video for you, or not for you, but on behalf of, well, not on, we cut a video in regards to, Stadia, where we talked about your blog. This should have definitely been in the blog. That's why we're a little confused and wondering, is this thing legit? But if this thing is legit, opposite of that, let that be a lesson that you walk away with. This should have definitely been in your blog today. Wow. Confusing, unless you're coming out with another blog tomorrow and this just precursed that. That being said, my question to the naysayers is simply this. What else does Stadia got to do if this is true to convince you that they're in it for a long tenure? I mean, what? Look, man, I get it that there's disappointment because people thought that Stadia would be roaring out the box like a Tyrannosaurus Rex in Jurassic Park Lost World or something like that, and ready to fight Xbox and PlayStation. However, Xbox showed today that the big stage is only for the big boys at the moment with this whole Bethesda thing, right? And cloud gaming just ain't there yet. They have perks and parts about them that are excellent, but like Jack Buser even admitted, it's going to take a long time for cloud gamers to realize an end product that in totality can compete with the offerings of the big two, PlayStation and Xbox. So if you had this fantasy where you thought 3 months in Stadia would, T-Rex it onto the big stage after being genetically modified like Lost World, then you fooled yourself. Sorry, it happens to the best of us. Happens to me all the time. Get over it. Despite that disappointment, they told you that they're dropping 100 games. They've given you roadmap after roadmap after roadmap. We talk about the Catherine Hassai interview that just has all types of, for lack of a better term, dog whistles as far as their reshifting of focus on Stadia features opposed to talking about first-party entries. You know what I'm saying? And just a slew of other stuff. New jobs at YouTube. I don't know what else they got to do. And my final question is to our good friend Jason Schreier. Jason Schreier, who blocked me. I get it. Little thin skin. You know what I'm saying? Need a little vitamin E in his diet. You know what I'm saying? Make his skin a little bit thicker. But it's okay, Jason. We still love you. After his Les Posay really exposed nothing, a bunch of old stuff that's not really relevant anymore. My question to Jason Schreier, who the best argument he could derive from his Les Posay was, oh, why don't Stadia use that 10 or 20 million that you're using to get big ticket games? Why don't they use it to get AAA? I mean, why don't they use it to get indie games? Well, here goes your indie game showcase right now where they're working with new talent, doing it in a way that really I don't think anybody else is doing it right now. Not even the big PlayStation or Xbox people are doing it right now, right? And trying to bring that young talent, that new talent to the platform and give them an opportunity, as they stated, groups that are development groups that are usually marginalized. That's something to give kudos to, right? They can walk and chew gum. They're Google, damn it, Jason. But again, it may be hard for you to absorb, hard for you to fathom. That's why you're on the end of the typewriter that you're at. That's why Google is behind the board room, behind the board table. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But with that said, I mean, I want to close out, but I just want to know, do you have answers to those questions? We're going to validate this information. And if we come through validating all of this, shout out to John Score, by the way, of Best Buy Canada and the Best Buy Gaming blog for finding this. If this is validated and this is true, what do y'all got to say now? I'm hoping my colleagues will also work towards validating this. And if this is true, they will report on it. Well, they'll report on it whether it's true or not. You know what I'm saying? To help expose if it's fake. And if it's true, they'll report on it. And they got an answer. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear their answers. Now, with that said, that's it from your boy MM2K. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section below, because like I always say, who cares what I think? But if you did like what I had to say, check out the links below to follow me. Those links will lead you to the Broadband Bullies, PNTS Network, Hard Knot Digital Culture, and yes, the Stadia Dosage. With all that said, appreciate and love all of you. You have a wonderful gaming day. Peace.